Hey everybody, welcome back to Broku no Hero, and today we have a really interesting video, and it's a theory regarding the Witch Queen and the Elves, and who was really behind the Elven Massacre hundreds of years before Black Clover starts, where Asta receives his grimoire. So before I do get into this theory, guys, I do need to say this will feature manga spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, go read the manga, come back and watch this video. If you have read the manga or don't care about being spoiled, well, let's just get into this theory, guys. Please do leave a like if you enjoy this theory, and also comment down below your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree? And also turn on notifications to be notified every time I upload a Black Clover video. So the Elves are a very, very mysterious race in Black Clover. And for a long time now, the fans, including me, of this series have been waiting and yearning for more and more answers. Who betrayed the Elves? What happened to all the Elves? Did all the Elves die, or did some survive? And we want everything to be answered. And also, one of the biggest things is, why did the Wizard King, the first Wizard King, betray the Elves? And I have a theory for why he betrayed the Elves and who was behind it all. So just want to let you guys go. This is just a fan theory, and there are some holes in it, and I will explain some of the holes. But besides that, let's just get into this. So the Elves are a group of humanoid beings that are kind of like a different tribe or a race of humans. They are similar to humans, they can breed with humans, but they are different. They have their own distinct look, and they have extremely high amounts of mana. In fact, when the humans and the Elves first interacted, the humans worshipped the Elves as if they were gods. So that's how powerful the Elves were. But as time went by, the humans started becoming better at using their mana to create magic, and actually became more technologically advanced than the Elves. So while the Elves were godlike in nature and how powerful and how much mana they had, they were massively outnumbered by the humans, and the humans were more technologically advanced with their magic. So they were at a disadvantage, but still, while there was no peace, there was no really direct war for a while, just because it would probably be a very bloody war with how strong a lot of the Elves are. One day, Tetia, the Wizard King's sister, accidentally flies out of the castle and lands where the Elves are, and is saved by both her brother, the Wizard King, and Licht, the King of the Elves. From here, Licht, the Wizard King, and Tetia and the Elves really get along. In fact, Licht and Tetia fall in love with each other, and Licht and the first Wizard King both want peace between the Elves. And the first Wizard King says that if the Elves and the humans combine their extremely high amount of mana and the extremely high amount of magic technology, an alliance between the Elves and the humans would be unstoppable and could change the world forever. With this, the Wizard King's sister, Tetia, would marry Licht, and also she would be impregnated by Licht, meaning that the peace treaty would be resolved by a half-human, half-elf hybrid, the son of Licht and Tetia, the nephew or niece of the first Wizard King. But during their wedding, all of a sudden, the Elves just couldn't use their mana. A sort of magic opening opened up in the sky, and very powerful light magic rained down on top of the Elves, killing them all, including Tetia and Tetia's unborn child. Now, it is assumed by the Elves that the person who betrayed them and attacked them and killed them was the first Wizard King, because of his insanely powerful light magic. Light magic is very rare, and it was light magic that actually plunged down and killed all the Elves. And also, the Wizard King was the only person who knew where the Elf tribe was located, well, besides Tetia. So, basically, that's all we really know, that it is likely the Wizard King that killed all of the Elves. But I think that the Witch Queen might be involved. So last night, my buddy and I, we both love Black Clover, we talked up a bunch of theories about it, and then we got to this, we're like, wow, there's actually stuff backing this, that the Witch Queen was involved. The Witch Queen might have been behind the Elven Massacre. So the Witch Queen is the queen of the witches. Now, the witches, we just went through the Witches Forest arc in the anime, they're all girls, they're all mages pretty much, and the the queen of the witches, the witch queen, is very powerful, has very powerful blood magic, can use very high magic spells at the same time, so she has a very high amount of mana. I don't know if she's Wizard King level, but I'd say at the least she's Captain level, because at one time Captain Yami, he was fighting her and not strong enough to beat her, so she's at least probably high tier Captain level, I would say. So, let's talk about the Wizard King. The first Wizard King, the one who defeated the demon. The first Wizard King used light magic and had a 4-leaf clover grimoire. He was extremely powerful, and he was the first ever Wizard King because he defeated the demon. And the Wizard King was the king before he was the Wizard King. We can know this because in the first chapter, the first page, he has a crown on. And remember, the Wizard King wasn't crowned and wasn't created until after this, so he was the king and the Wizard King at one point. So, while it is likely that the Wizard King did kill the elves, it might not be so that he actually betrayed them knowingly. I'm going to introduce the motives for the Wizard King and the Witch's Queen as to why they'd want the elves defeated and killed. And for the Wizard King, he has no motive to attack them. He wanted peace, actively worked towards peace, and his pregnant sister was there. So not only his sister, which he cared for, because he showed caring for her when her wind magic went out of control, but also his unborn nephew or niece. One of probably the first ever human-elf hybrid. Why would he betray and attack the elves, knowing his sister was there? Doesn't really have much of a motive. The Witch Queen, though, thinks that witches are superior in class, and she would not want the elves and the humans to become such a powerful alliance. Now imagine how powerful the elf tribe and the Clover Kingdom would have been if they worked together. Their alliance would have been absolutely unstoppable. They probably could take on all the kingdoms at once. The Witch Queen probably wouldn't want that. It's kind of an evil playing field between the kingdoms at this point, so that's probably what she wanted. Having the elves join with the humans, not going with her ideals. So now that we have a motive for the Wizard King to not do this, and a motive for the Witch Queen to do this, let's talk about how this could have happened. Well, it's just actually revealed in the anime that the Witch Queen can control people with her blood magic. And it's possible that she somehow was able to use her blood magic to control the Wizard King. Now, I don't really know how this would happen, but if the Wizard King is trying to make peace with the elves, it's very possible that he also could have tried to make peace with the witches in the witches' forest with the Witch Queen, and could have been decepted, and somehow his blood gets mixed up with her blood magic, and now she's in control of him. It would make sense why the Queen of the Witches would take over the Wizard King rather than actually take on the elves herself, and this is explained in the Witches' Forest arc after Vanessa has gotten her new limit-breaking fate ability, the cat, and she explains about what the elves are and how Asta got his swords. She specifies that many of the elves were equal to her. She would not be able to move on them herself if many of the elves had equal mana to her. The Witch's Queen, the Queen of the Witches, she had no way of taking on the elves and stopping this alliance herself, or showing up and doing it. I believe that she used her blood magic to take over the Wizard King, and use that to betray the elves, and slaughter them all. As of right now, it makes no sense for the Wizard King, the only person that knows where the elf tribe lives, to betray them. It makes just no sense. Also, what's interesting is the Wizard King didn't show up to his own sister's wedding. He did not show up at his own sister's wedding. There was also basically a blood pact between two tribes, the Clover Kingdom and the Elf tribe, that showed that, yeah, we're gonna be at peace with each other now because we have blood mixing together between royalty. Licht, the king of the elves, had a child with Tetsuya, who was of royalty of the Clover Kingdom. Now, it also needs to be brought up that the Witch Queen is naturally deceptive for her own gain and the gain of the witches. Just how she used Asta to take out both the Eye of the Midnight Sun and the attackers from the Diamond Kingdom, and then tried to use him and his anti-magic sword as her own arsenal until Vanessa's magic was able to stop him because she has fate manipulation. So, I'm going to summarize this all again for you. The Wizard King has no motives to kill the elves, including his sister and unborn nephew or niece. The Witch Queen has the motive because she believes witches are superior in class. she wouldn't want the elves and the humans to become such a powerful alliance to defeat or take over all of the witches. Also, the Witch Queen was alive at the time, and she has the ability to take people over. I think that is pretty interesting that she was alive at the time the elves were there, and she has the ability to take over people with her blood magic. And the Witch Queen specifically says that many of the elves were equal to her in power, which would show that she couldn't do it on her own. So I believe that the Wizard King was taken over with blood magic from the Witch Queen, and then that's how the slaughtering happened of the elves. Now, first off, I do want to talk about some plot holes, and that is, how would the Witch Queen be able to trick the Wizard King into actually being able to be manipulated? Well, one way, I guess, if he was trying to make peace with the Witch's Queen, which there's no evidence at all that there is yet, I mean, she could probably put her blood in some of his drink and then do that. Would probably be an easy way for her if they were having like wine at a peace meeting or something like that, or anything really. I mean, the Witch's Queen is powerful and smart, but also, does that mean she controlled the Wizard King after he killed the elves, or did she just stop because she didn't want to mess with him even more? And also, if the Wizard King knew that the Witch's Queen had taken over him and ruined the peace treaty, forced him to kill his own sister, an unborn niece or nephew, and slaughter an entire tribe of people, which spawned a demon that nearly destroyed the Clover Kingdom, wouldn't you think that the Wizard King would retaliate against the Witch's Queen and the forest full of witches? So that's some of the plot holes I have, but overall, guys, that is the theory that me and my friend thought of last night. Don't know if anybody else has thought of it, haven't bothered looking online, just wanted to record this, but let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you agree with me that the Wizard King, or the Wizard King might have actually killed the elves, but was under control by the Queen of the Witches? Let me know. But anyways, guys, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also turn on notifications to be notified every time I upload a Black Clover video. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...